The House That Never Slept, by DIYA'S story time. Some houses keep secrets, but this one never let anyone sleep. Memories I didn't want to face, the house had been waiting for me to remember. Some houses don't sleep, because they're waiting for you to wake up. Please like and subscribe. The House That Never Slept. When I first moved into the small, crumbling house at the edge of town, I thought I had found peace. It was quiet, surrounded by trees, with a porch that overlooked the road like a sleepy guardian. The rent was cheap, almost suspiciously so, but I didn't ask questions. After all, I just wanted solitude, a place where no one knew my name, and the past couldn't find me. But people in town had their warnings. Old women at the market would glance at me with pity and mutter, "Nobody stays there long." The housekeeper asked twice if I was sure about living in that house. I laughed it off. Every town has its ghost stories, doesn't it? I thought nothing of it, until the first night. It was exactly 3:07 a.m. when I woke to the sound of footsteps in the hallway. Slow, steady, each one pressing into the wooden floorboards like a heartbeat echoing in the dark. I held my breath. Maybe it was the neighbors. No, the house stood alone. Maybe an animal? But the steps were too deliberate, too human. They moved closer, one after another, until they stopped, right outside my bedroom door. I waited. My heart pounded against my ribs, so loud I swore it would give me away. But then, silence. Minutes stretched on. I finally drifted back to sleep, convincing myself it was a dream. But it wasn't. The footsteps came back the next night. And the night after that. Always at 3:07 a.m. Always stopping just beyond the thin piece of wood that separated me from whatever was out there. The house began to feel less like a home and more like a stage where something unseen waited for me to play my part. Then, one afternoon, while cleaning the hallway, I noticed a loose floorboard near the wall. I pried it open. Inside was a small, faded diary. The pages were brittle, the ink smudged with time, but I could still make out the handwriting. It belonged to someone named Elena. Her entries started normal enough. She wrote about moving into the house with her family, how she loved the garden in spring, how the attic smelled like dust and old books. But the later entries grew darker. "There are footsteps in the hallway again," one line read. "Papa doesn't hear them. Mama says it's the house settling. But I know better." Another entry, weeks later. "I haven't slept in 3 nights. He waits outside my door. He never tries to come in, but he wants me to open it. I can feel it." And then the final words, scrawled in shaky handwriting across the last page. "If you hear footsteps after midnight, don't open the door. He doesn't like it when people look at him." That night, I sat awake with the diary clutched in my hands. I watched the clock as it crawled toward 3:07. The air grew heavy. The silence of the house was suffocating. And then, there it was. Step, step, step. The same dreadful rhythm. Closer and closer, until it stopped, right outside my door. The diary trembled in my hands. Elena's warning screamed in my mind, "Don't open it." But something in me refused to obey. I had to know. I reached out with shaking fingers and turned the knob. The hallway was empty. No figure. No intruder. But on the floor, just a few feet away, was a candle. Its wick was blackened, its wax melted down to nothing, yet it was still warm. as if it had been burning only seconds ago. Sleep left me after that. I couldn't close my eyes without hearing the echo of those steps in my head. The next night, instead of waiting in my room, I followed the footsteps up the narrow attic stairs. The air was colder than ice, and every step made the house groan like it was alive. In the corner sat a tall, cracked mirror. My pulse raced. I expected to see myself, but I didn't. Instead, a pale girl stared back at me. Hollow eyes, lips trembling. She pressed her hand against the glass. Her mouth moved slowly, forming a single word. Run. My throat tightened. Elena. I whispered. But then I saw it. The reflection wasn't Elena. It wasn't someone else at all. It was me. The same eyes. The same trembling lips. The same fear. Only, I wasn't standing there. And that's when the truth hit me. I had never moved into this house. I had never rented it. I had never escaped anything. Because I was never alive to begin with. The footsteps I heard every night weren't someone haunting me. They were my own, echoes of a life I'd already lost. And the house didn't belong to me. I belonged to it. Some houses don't keep you safe. They keep you forever. Trapped in a house, doomed to repeat the footsteps forever. Please like and subscribe.